It's time now for Premier's Picks with Premier Brad Wall, the Premier of this fine province. Here are the standings through the first 3 weeks of the season. Premier, Gary the King Nickel, and the fans are all tied up. It's locked at 4, so send in your picks at 306-306. Who are the winners between Hamilton, Montreal, Edmonton and Ottawa, BC, Saskatchewan, and then Winnipeg and Calgary. We go to the Premier's meetings out east, and here is Premier Wall. Thank you for doing this. I know it's busy out there.
Jamie, how are you doing, Jamie? And so I take it from that intro that modestly your omission tells me that you're leading the rest of us. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I'm the complete opposite. I'm 8 for 12. You guys are 4 for 12, so
right.
There's some room.
That's very special. Good for you.
I have to be proud of something. I don't got much. So 306, who are your 4 winners to go up against the Premier of the province?
You're saying that's not really going to get him a cabinet post anywhere?
No, that isn't. In fact, right now, so as you probably know, I'm standing in the lobby of, there's one of the events related to the Premier's meeting in St. John's, and I'm here with Darrell Pasloski, the fantastic
you brought your ringer, did you?
Right. I know he's undefeated on Premier's Picks, is he not? That's why I want him to pick the riders so we can, end this. But I'm also a little worried based on some of the tension around the Premier's meeting that the other Premier saw us leave together, and I'm pretty sure they think we're hatching some sort of, pipelines for the Yukon or something like that. But we're out here in the lobby area, and we're happy to be on the show. Christy Clark, by the way, has a message. She couldn't come out for this, and I promised that I would say verbatim what she wanted me to say. Of course, the Premier of British Columbia. And she said, with respect to last week, that the riders seem to be very good at, and here's the old cliche, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And it's painful, but I promised her I'd say it verbatim, and so there you have it. And that's all we need to speak of that.
But, Premier Wall, you know this better than anyone. When a Premier starts doing some trash talk, it usually doesn't work out for their team.
But sometimes it does work out.
The banjo's still away, right? It's never coming back again.
No, there's no banjo. The banjo's away. No, and but Christy does. Her and her predecessor Gordon Campbell, they've been pretty good at the trash talk, but it's always after the fact. I remember getting messages on my cell phone from former Premier Gordon Campbell. After the Riders lost to BC, asking if I needed any sort of a score update, quarter by quarter, an injury update. I mean, they're kind of insufferable, but I promised I would pass the trash talking along. So there you have it.
So, Premier Wall, the last couple of weeks we've gotten updates from the wildfires up north. You're out east, but from what you've been told, how is the effort going up there? I heard a little bit of relief the last 24, 48 hours, some anyways.
You're right, there's been some relief. Thanks for asking. And I broke away from the meetings here to be on the ops call this morning. Well, it would have been morning there and about 1 o'clock here, or Tuesday there or 1 o'clock here. It kind of, it's that half hour throws everything off. But the good news is the rain has helped, and there's more in the forecast. And of course, we have now people being repatriated, going back home to their communities. Fire situation stabilized, if not improving in a lot of areas. And I'm hoping there'll be even more good news on the repatriation front here just in the next while. But overall, I'd say progress and reason for lots of cautious optimism. So hats off to all the agencies again, our own firefighters in the province, the Canadian Forces, Red Cross, the First Nations volunteers, and the leadership up there, the local departments, everybody. We're winning this thing, and I'm hoping for some good news here in the next little while. I think we all are.
You're in Newfoundland, correct?
Correct.
Do you go to George Street in St. John's at all, or not?
We haven't been on any streets. We've been in awesome meeting rooms the whole time. So we're hoping maybe they'll let us out and we'll go. Why, do you know a street or two in St. John's, Newfoundland?
Just one. It's just George Street. That's the only one I know. Last time I was there, I was in my early 20s, so that was the only street I really cared about back in those days.
Okay, I'm kind of just making some assumptions here based on all of it. So no, haven't been on any streets.
So are you making any picks, or is it going to be the great Premier of Yukon?
No, let's go quickly. I'd like to make some picks, but then let's have Premier Darrell go as well here because he is literally undefeated. So I'll go quick though to make way for him.
Okay, let's get to the picks for Premier's Picks as the first game of the week's tonight, actually. Going to get going in about 45 minutes' time, and that is the Montreal Alouettes at home against the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Ticats.
You're going Ticats, and then it's the Edmonton Eskimos in Ottawa in a rematch of last week.
I'm going Ottawa this week. There's no Edmonton. Yeah, I'm going Ottawa.
Ottawa. Interesting. Let's get to the pick as we know it's going to be the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but is this going to be another overtime game, or what are you thinking?
No. Oh, gosh, no. We've all lost years off of our life with these overtime games, and we can't. And like a torn pec, it's a terrible injury season when, we're 3 games in, and Weldon Brown, and I think Weldon had a great game. He really shut down, who is he on? Arsenault, right?
Yep.
I thought he shut him down all game, and just a terrible injury. So, but no overtime, just a straight up win at home against the Lions.
And final game of the week is Winnipeg in Calgary.
Yeah, I think the Stamps, they started a little shaky, but they're looking pretty good. I'm going with Stamps. And now here's Premier Darrell Pasloski of Yukon. Originally, of course, from Yorkton, Saskatchewan.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello.
Premier Pasloski, 8 for 8 over the last 2 years.
You know what? Not to brag, but that's an incredible amount of pressure now too. When you're 8 for 8, so I'm feeling a little bit of pressure right now, but excited to see if we can keep the streak alive.
It's got to be the Prairie Roots that have the knowledge of the Canadian Football League to the degree in which you do.
Absolutely, of course, I've been in Yukon for quite a while now. Season ticket holder for the Riders, of course, and still bleeding green and white. So I credit it all to that. That's what it is, right?
Well, let's see how you do against a Premier Wall this time around. And he always defers to your picks when you come on for his.
Oh, he did that again, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hamilton against Montreal.
Well, you know what? Montreal looked sort of impressive at the start, but I don't think they're as good as some of the people are saying. Hamilton, they've got a coach that Rider fans are quite familiar with, and both as a coach and as a player. So I'm going to go with Hamilton.
Edmonton in Ottawa.
Same thing with Ottawa. I think everybody'd like to see Ottawa do well, and certainly it's great to see the fan support that the Red Blacks are getting. I still don't think they're going to find the winning ways. I think we're going to see the Eskimos are going to win on the road.
Saskatchewan at home against the BC Lions.
What can I say? We're going Riders. You know what? I can tell you in the Pasloski household in Whitehorse, Yukon, there was much pain the last 2 weeks, and so that just cannot happen again. It's not going to happen for a 4th week in a row. So Riders are going to win big. And
final game is Calgary at home to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Winnipeg has done some very good things. I mean, they've beefed up their offensive line. Drew Willie is going to be a good quarterback in this league. But Calgary's got a good team. So as much as it pains me to pick Western teams, that are up there against the Riders. But I think that we're going to see the Stampeders are going to win this one.
Premier Pasloski, there you go. We'll see how you do. 8 for 8 so far.
Okay, well, and a big shout-out to everybody in Saskatchewan, and go Riders.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, cheers.
Now we have to get my picks in, and Gary Nickel, of course, have to get the picks in. Gary, I got Ticats against the Montreal Alouettes.
You got the Ticats. I also have the Ticats. Jamie and I.
How about the Edmonton-Ottawa game?
I am going with the Eskimos because Ottawa stung me a bit last week, and you tricked me into it, so I'm going the opposite way.
Yeah,
taking the Eskimos.
Premier Wall went with Ottawa this week. I got the Saskatchewan Roughriders once again.
And I will also take Saskatchewan, even though I don't know what's happening with the Gary curse. It's all over the place now, so I'm totally lost, but I'll take the Riders.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't really matter.
I'm just really that bad, eh?
I'm going with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over the Calgary Stampeders in the upset of the week.
And I'm going to take the Stamps. And Jamie, I'm also happy to hear that we passed legislation last year to ban performance-enhancing premiers, or PEPs as they are often called. And the premier is finally legit, so good for him and good on him.
Yeah, that was well done. There we go. There is Premier's picks for the week, but it is Premier versus the fans this year, and we need you to weigh in at 306-306. Who are your 4 winners this week, as you and the Premier are tied up right now at 4 wins apiece. The games again: Hamilton in Montreal, Edmonton in Ottawa, BC in Saskatchewan, Winnipeg in Calgary. It's as simple as this. At 306-306, you text in the winners, and majority rules for the fan vote on the 4 winners of the week on Premier's Picks right here on 980 CJMA.